Hi, my name is Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing a container home in The Sims 4. This was originally going to be a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, but as I was going through the video, I decided to make it a 1-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, which does sound a lot, and I do recognize that, but I just gotta say, my original plan was to have a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, especially because last week was a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. And if you haven't seen that video, you can check that out on my YouTube channel after you are done watching this video. And if you're new, hi, welcome. I post new videos every single Tuesday, one video per week, and I just like making Sims 4 builds and speed builds, so if you're interested in these types of videos, you can hit the subscribe button. It is free, zero cost, and we are now just going to be working on the front patio space. There is no backyard in this lot. It is built in the world of Windenburg on that little island on the left bottom corner, and so it does have kind of a modern feel with the rest of the buildings, and I wanted to go for a modern organic look for this build. I did a cute little cottage in last week's video, and so I wanted to do something different for this week's video. I was going to do a Tudor style home, but I feel like that kind of is similar to a cottage in a way, and so I wanted to go for something more modern with this video. So we're just going to be working on the patio space, going to be using the Desert Luxe kit for patio, and I do use the bar stools in the kitchen, which we are in now. I have a very large kitchen for this 1-bedroom home, and again, this was going to be a 3-bedroom home, but plans changed, and I kind of feel like this works better in a way. It's just a very big house to have a party. So if you have a sim that likes to throw parties, or if you just want to manage 1 to 2 sims but have a lot of sims on your lot, then this is a good lot for you to play in. If you want to play in this home, you can find all the information down in the description, like the packs I use, the size of lot it's built on, the world it is built on. I do try to mention these things in my videos, but I sometimes forget certain information, like, oh yeah, I have one extra pack, or oh yeah, it's actually built on a different sized lot. So we are just going to go down into the description to find all of the information, and if you want me to build something specific, you can leave a comment and I will build it. I am trying to figure out another series to do on my channel. If you are new, I have done a zodiac build for the past year, and I have done like all the zodiac signs, and so if you're new, you can check out a playlist on my channel where I have all of my zodiac themed builds. So we're just going to be adding an island. I do have 2 sinks in this kitchen just because it is such a large kitchen, and I was thinking that this be like a very fun like party house. I was also thinking this be like a fun spring break house. Or maybe I could just do another build that is designed to be for a vacation. I was just kind of like trying to figure out what exactly I wanted this house to be, and having a spring break house did seem like a fun idea, but it didn't really work out for this build, so maybe I'll pocket that idea and you'll see that idea come forth soon, although I guess spring break is kind of over for most people. At least where I live, it's all over for the most part, so we do come back outside a few more times to add a few more decorations here, and So it's kind of the hard part about having a open floor plan that's like really open to like every different area of this home is like, oh, that doesn't look good there, but I did forget to put a rug in this area, so I'm going to bring that rug out here while I'm thinking about it. So we're just going to be adding these rugs. They're all from the Eco Lifestyle pack, and so now we're just going to be in the living room. This is a nice open space, again, great for entertaining, and so I do have the chairs that came with the Desert Luxe kit for this space, and so I wanted to add those. They do look very comfy and cozy to sit on and very soft to kind of like break up the nice white walls and beige floors. So we're just going to be adding a side table and going to be adding some chairs on the right side of the couches. I did add this rug to kind of help anchor the space, and I want it to be consistent with the kitchen, and so I'm adding the same curtains in the same color tone, and we're just going to be adding some chairs now and going to be finishing up the space. This area was the quickest area for me to design just because it is the smaller space out of all the other spaces, and I did want to add a living plant wall into this area, just kind of bring in those like earthy tones and feelings. So we're just going to be adding a few more things onto that little hutch under the stairs, coming back outside, and now we're going to be finishing up the living room with these wood details. And I do also add a fireplace into the living room. I forget to hit the record button to show it, but there is a fireplace. So if you do want to see the fireplace in the living room, you have to stay tuned to the end of the video where you will see the screenshots. And now we are in the formal dining room. Since this is a party house, this was actually going to be one of the bedrooms, but I had my heart set on a formal dining room, and so I decided to remove the wall and the door to make this a more open space where the dining room is. And again, it's a very minimalist style. It just has a little plant in the corner and some mirrors to help reflect the light from the windows. So we're just going to be adding some planters to the front of the property. And I feel like this just kind of helps make the pool a little bit more private and just kind of gives it that earthy tones. And now we're just going to be changing the color of the planters, a very simple change, but I feel like this really kind of helps bring a little bit of like the woods into this modern build. So we're just going to be just doing a little bit of adjusting and going to be heading back inside to the dining room, and now we're going to be working on the bathroom on the first level that will be like accessible for the guests. I was imagining this area to be more of like a pool house bathroom. You would know it's technically in the house, and I feel like pool house bathrooms are usually a separate bathroom. That's just my opinion and what I see online and on social media. So we're just going to be adding some plants in the corner of the living room that leads into the primary suite, or I guess the only suite, because this is a one bedroom home. And I wanted to use these items from Eco Lifestyle, and we're just going to be using this rug also from Eco Lifestyle and going to be adding a dresser. I did want to have like a private TV space in this bedroom for The Sims, and so I do add some cabinets where I used in the kitchen. I use the same cabinets in this bedroom just to keep it consistent, but kind of has a nice like media area in the bedroom, which I know not everybody wants like TV in their bedroom, but there was a space, and I feel like modern earthy artwork is not really a thing. There's not like a filter on the side where I can like easily filter that, and so it felt easier to just add a TV instead of adding another like artwork. So we're just going to be adding a little bit of decoration onto the cabinets, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of feature wall into the bedroom, and now we are going to be working on the bathroom or the ensuite to the bedroom, and we're just going to be adding a lot of items from the modern luxe kit or modern sleek bathroom kit. This is the sleek bathroom kit. There are so many packs and they are very hard for me to remember each of them, so we are just going to be having a little wet zone on the right side of the screen, and then the left side of the screen is where the sink and the toilet are located. So I was going to have two showers, but I also wanted to have the bathtub, and this is a smaller bathroom, even though it's very large, or I tried to make it feel large, so I did get rid of the second shower head, and now we're just going to be adding a plant. I did try to add the majority of the sleek bathroom kit into this bathroom, so we are just going to be adding some shelves above the toilet, and I add the curtains to go with the ones in the primary bedroom, and I do keep them in the green shade like the living room and the kitchen just to keep that consistency going, since the bedroom has windows facing towards the front of the property. I wanted to have the curtains be consistent, and then even though the bathroom isn't a frontward facing location, I wanted it to still be consistent with the primary bedroom, and I am going to be finishing up the primary suite area, and I do just want to clarify something I said in my last week's video. I don't know if anybody really noticed, but I said I was being neutral with the EA buyout, and what I meant by neutral is I didn't completely stop playing The Sims like some content creators have, and I just feel like I needed to clarify that because of there's a lot of like tension I feel like going on with the EA buyout, and so what I meant to say when I said neutral is I haven't completely given up on the game. So we are just now heading upstairs. This is supposed to be the second bedroom, but it ended up being a open loft space with a bathroom and a office area with some bookshelves. You will see that I do get rid of the balcony on the right hand side, and I just couldn't really figure out what exactly to put up there. It felt like I made that area too big of a space, and instead of just like making it smaller, I thought it would be easier to just get rid of the balcony, and there's lots of like hangout spots on the lower patio space. So I didn't think it would be that big of a deal to have a house without a balcony on it. So we're just going to be adding a lot of skill building items in this loft space, like a chess table and an art easel, and I do have a bit of a library wall area, and of course we have the bathroom up here because this was originally going to be a bedroom, and I felt it'd be easier to have a bathroom up here too. But since I got rid of the bedroom idea, I didn't want to get rid of the bathroom, so we're just going to keep the bathroom up here, and it would be a very easy space for you to redesign back into a bedroom if you want to, or just add a wall so your Sims like can have a little bit of privacy, or you can just get rid of the bookshelf that I have on either side of the art easel, and then your Sims can have a nice bedroom up here. And I guess technically you don't even need to have a wall up here. I was just thinking privacy. So we're just going to be adding a few planters onto the balcony area. That does get deleted, but did bring up some plants that I forgot about I was like originally planning on adding. And I do have solar panels up here on the balcony, so we're just going to be adding those solar panels, and I do add more solar panels up here once I get rid of the balcony space. I just didn't really know what I wanted to do with that space, so we're just going to be adding a window where the door was, just to still have that natural light coming in from all four sides of the build. And now we're going to be in our last space, which is a bathroom very similar to the pool bathroom on the first level. But we are getting close to the end of the video, so I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It really does mean so much to me. We are so close to 160 subscribers, so if you enjoy watching Sims 4 speed build content, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. If you have any build suggestions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comments, and I hope to see you all next week. Bye!